After nearly 90 years in the making, Murray State Racer basketball has so much tradition and history that it could fill a book. Well, now it has. The Banner Years is the story of our Racer basketball team spanning from the first season to the last season. Every magical moment is captured in vivid detail. Former SID Jimmy Wilder and creator of the Racer Insider Lindy Suiter tell us a little bit more about the book and why it was written.
There's been so much tradition and so many championships and so many great players, so many great coaches that we just felt like that the program deserved a book. And Benny Purcell has been one who has been wanting to get a book written on Murray State basketball for probably over 10 years.
Benny brought up the point that he'd been trying for a long time to get someone to do a book about Murray State basketball. And so I got to thinking, I had done a book for Dave Hart, who was commissioner of the Southern Conference, and I worked for Dave, and he was something else, and it was Dynamite Dave. And I said, well, if I can do that, and I'm supposed to be retired, I'll help Benny with this book. And so he and I talked, and I said, Benny, if you'll commit to help raise the money that's going to be necessary to publish a book, I'll commit to getting it done.
After it was decided to go forward with the book, then came the decision on who was going to write it.
We tried to select writers that were familiar with that era. Just, Sid was more of a historian, so it only made sense for Sid to take care of the early years. He'd done a lot of research on the early years and, did a fantastic job. And then, of course, we brought in Kim Trevathan, who is a well-known author, has several books, and he's a hometown boy. And he had grew up here at Murray during the 70s and had a pretty good feel as a kid, of course, but he had some background on the players such as, Claude Verdon and Hector Blondet, and then those guys. And then Steve Parker, who helped me start the Racer Insider and was the sports editor for the Ledger and Times. We kind of assigned him the stories that he covered during that era. And then, of course, Will Aubrey, who writes all the, most of the, well, pretty much writes the whole Racer Insider and has been for about 16 years. So we knew he was very, very familiar with the past 20 years.
Now that the book has been published, they've been eager to find out the reaction from their readers.
They're getting to relive the era that they actually participated in as a fan, or they're also learning about how it got to that point. And I've heard just as many comments about Jim Phillips' story than I have Isaiah Cannon's story. So that's what's kind of neat, and that's what's made the book special to a lot of people.
The reaction would be to me, everybody is, hey, Jimmy, y'all did far better than we ever anticipated even.
But what makes it neat is as me, I grew up here in Murray. I grew up sitting right over here on the front row. And so what's been neat about the book to me is that I could go back and read up until that time and see what all happened, and then I could start reliving memories. And I think that's the best feedback that we've got from the book, is everyone has really enjoyed, and it would bring it back to them.